Hello and welcome to a spot of positivity. Here we are on a Work With Me Wednesday. I think you remember this tree we were working on last week, and I've been desperate to do a bit more with it, but I was waiting for you to do it together on a Wednesday, so here we are. Now I was working on these on the grass here, and I could have gone ahead with it, but I just thought I'd go ahead with you. And you have to excuse any boys' football noise in the background, because this is the kind of place I live in right now. People playing football and people watching football. That shouldn't disturb us because we are together enjoying some happy drawings. So what I wanted to just show you today is how to do this grass. And it's just, you just keep on going. If you bump into something that was already drawn, you draw something behind it. You just sort of stop. See, I'm stopping for a second, and then I continue behind here. I stop again, and I continue from here. And I go like that. So it's already starting to look like how lots of beautiful grass behind, well, underneath this tree, I should say, in the foreground, but doesn't matter. There we go. It's all going to come together very nicely. Now I'll just leave that for now, and I will continue on without you next time. These can go right to the top. All these little blades of grass, happy little blades of grass. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it gives it a really cool thing. And you know what? You can color some of them in with pencil afterwards, or indeed, if you wanted to, the colored pencil. But I prefer to keep mine black and white. The pencil can give different layers and different depths. So you see, that's quite nice, isn't it? Now, we had, I'm sorry, there's a bit of a mess made last time, and I used a dodgy eraser, so it's got a funny look to it, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to take a little section here, and this will be the first section we work on here. This little one here looks a bit blurred. But never mind, we will make it look really pretty. And I think what we're going to do here is a kind of little leafy pattern. So we're going to go like this, that, and there we go. I'm going to go like that, as if that's the edge of the tree. I'm just going to keep that shape. And each little leaf, I'm going to make a little, kind of, I don't know what we call this, but a little tiny thing. Technical word, it's called a thing. And I'm going to keep on making little layers like that, very carefully. I'm getting ahead of myself. It doesn't need to go fast. This is the beauty of Zentangle. There we go. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Can you see how that's going to look? Let me layer it all up. Go up here, another layer of these little things. They're like a little leaf, aren't they? But not necessarily growing in the right direction, but it doesn't matter. It's going to look really quite pretty. Now, let's have some here along this edge here. So we're going to go like this, and like that. There we go. There's something really pleasing about a repeated pattern. Maybe not to some of you, but I find it really nice. And at the end, it will be a tiny little picture, but very detailed. And maybe it's a need, I have a innate need to be detailed in some little way, because my general personality, as I said, is much more of a big picture personality. This is the outlet for my inner detailed person. How's that looking to you? This picture, just to give you some perspective, 3 by 4 inches, something like that. Now I have a book I've lent to somebody called Totally Tangled. This is a really good book, but I've lent it out, so I don't have it to show you. This one I'm using as an inspiration is called 500 Tangled Artworks. And it's really inspiring. Sometimes it's nice to have a book that has step-by-step instructions though. And so if you don't have that, you can buy it, or you can go on to YouTube and get some inspiration. Everyone's a little different in their style. Some people are much more precise and accurate than others. Those people is not me. Sometimes they're accurate, and someone has never done it before probably thinks mine are accurate, but compared to some people, very sloppy. There we go. Now look at that. Isn't that looking pretty? So all that kind of blurred area, bludged, smudged, blurred, is a little bit better now because I've given it some detail around it. It hides that from view. It was annoying though. Some new rubbers erasers are just kind of cheap, and that one was one of those. This whole section will be done by the time we're finished our little show today. I've always had a fascination with drawing trees. I like the idea of doing all the leaves, which you're never going to do really, because when you see a tree, you really aren't seeing every single individual leaf. You're really just seeing some of them. But I've always liked to do some kind of realistic trees, which, as we know, this is not. In some way, these leaves look like little tiny houses. Very, very small people that live in little tiny houses on a tree. It's a bit of a noisy night, isn't it? That's my dishwasher going. Dishwasher going, washing machine going. But here's our quiet little haven doing Zentangle. And we're nearly done. I'll just continue on this when I get off with you. I'll finish this little section so that we can look at it next time, and we'll have the grass completed. I might do a bit of shading. Have the grass completed, the trunk completed in this little section. I'll get the whole tree completed probably in 2 or 3 more Wednesday sessions. So there we go. Again, pardon the football commentary. It just happens sometimes. I'm going to be very calm here in spite of it all. I like the right team to win as much as the next guy, but probably won't affect my mood too much. There we go. So who's tried this already? Is anyone trying a little bit of Zentangle? I know my friend Georgia is. That's cool. It's sort of the equivalent of adult coloring. I'm not likely to do much adult coloring, but I'd be more likely probably to create a book for someone else to do adult coloring. Now look at that already. Really cool, but it takes time, right? It's not an instant sort of thing. Nearly done this thing. I'll take a little time to show you a little bit of shading, and then we'll stop and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed watching with me today, watching me draw, and maybe getting inspired to do your own little creation. Now, that one's kind of cool. I'm just going to show you a little bit of shading you can do. So you can give it a bit of a round look. Just imagine this part kind of bulging out there. Do a little bit of that in this tree trunk as well. Not sure if we did this before. Anyway, look at that. It's already giving a lot more depth to it now. Because it's round and not flat, I want to also go a little bit on that on the side. There we go. I'll do a bit more with the grass, and I'll show it to you next week. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on A Spot of Positivity.